So in this hero art project, we will not make some kind of card today. We will make something else, although you can use these sheets and paper to make some kind of cards or some kind of stuff going on. But what I'm planning to do is we will make one art journal out of it. So this sheet is so pretty, it turned out so well, and I want to convert it into the main. And where is my bone folder? So now I want to convert it into a simple journal, and it is very easy to make. So this sheet is 9 by 12 because I use the Canson watercolor paper. So I'm going to fold it into the 9. Now here, remember, you can make a tall journal or you can make it in a half, and you can make like cut this part again and you can make a half of it. But half of it will not work for me because sometimes I draw sketches when I go out. Sometimes I do some kind of fun things. So a little bit bigger is always better. So you have now two options. You can just fold it these kind of papers and make your pre-base ready to go, like these, like these, like these. Other option is you can go ahead and use these kind of papers, or you can go ahead and use the normal watercolor paper. So normal watercolor paper is like, if you are going with the Canson watercolor paper, it will be 300. So this is like 300 GSM. So when we go to put and all that inside and make a signature here, it will be become a little bit more bulky. So another option is I'm choosing here this paper. These are Bristol Smooth 9 by 12 paper, and it is 100 lb. That one is 130 lb. So we'll try these. I have this sheet with me, and this is smooth paper, but it's okay. And we will do the same thing for each of the sheet. Like we gonna just fold that into. So here I'm not making more bulky kind of journaling. Here I'm just making pretty simple. Now if you want to turn this into the journal, you can just do the same thing. Hero Arts and other many companies have their own stamps, which is for the bullet journaling or some kind of other journaling. You can use that also, or you can write down and draw something using those 1 2 3, or like anything will do. Just see what you like and what you want to do. And if you are like me, you don't want to write anything in that, just keep it simple, plain, and as time go, you can try different mediums in that. You can make a swatch book in that. You can add different colors in that. You can see that whichever palettes you like more, you can try those there. You can have kind of your watercolor book there, or you can use those pencils which is already in the kit, and you can use those pencils and this, and you can just go ahead and make a really nice handmade watercolor journal. By the way, I already made one watercolor kind of handmade journal, which is having lots and lots of things. You can use your rub-ons also to create those kind of stuff, to create calendars inside. I think that much is enough. I'm not planning to make more signatures, so we are not going here detail and making a very hard or thick book binding. We'll just go ahead and make a very simple stuff which everybody can make with the less supplies, because that should be always the motto. And I just mess up with this, so I need to clean it right now. Clean your stuff as you go. Yeah, that's my mom's word and I'm using today. So if I put many signatures, so when we put these pages together, that called signature. But if I put many signatures today, you can see that it is going like this, and then you have to cut it. Totally depend on how much pages you are putting, but the more you go, the more they're gonna come like this outside. So if you have a trimmer, you can just trim it. If it don't bother you, then you can just put it inside and you have your book. If it's bothering you, then I'll suggest you to trim it off a little bit. So what happened, the pages are 9 by 12, but by putting this, they're gonna get more and more closer there. So if you see, it's 9 by 12 if it's just half, and when I turn it, it becomes this. So you can just go ahead, eyeball it and trim little bit of it as you go. So this is my for inside signature exactly in the middle. I'll use the paper trimmer. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna just cut it little bit more, like this much, because this is my full inside paper, and it will, and don't throw that stuff, you're gonna use that for anything else. So what happened, I have to cut this more. So when I put it inside, it will like go this. And then for the another one, first of all, I go to 1/4 and more. Now this is also, I will go little bit more, but just by eyeballing it. Or what you can do, and I'm just keeping them as I go. And this is not the very proven method, but this is the easiest way to do the things. Like, look, if you see, oh, this didn't cut properly, but if you see these, you can easily see that they are not, this is not the perfect method of doing and trimming the papers, but I don't have that big trimmer. Maybe you also don't have as a card maker. And then you, as you go, you have to see that are you going in the proper direction, are you in the proper way, and you can just cut. And if it's don't bother you, you can just cut before you go, like this. Now look, this is more or less going closer, better. I think I can see the better word is better. So now you can see that I have this, but still I can go ahead and trim that excess, or you can use the scissors also. And in this way we're gonna treat all our papers to get the nice look. Now you can see, if I have this bulk, if I put that inside, I can see that they're not perfectly matching, but they are still aligned to it. And if I put that inside this cover, so either way you can just trim it off as you go, or you can just trim it off before you starting your work, whatever you prefer. Now we're going to do a very easiest bookbinding for this. So this is my paper. I was using, this is 0, right? So I'm just putting this, and now I want the 3 holes to hold this. So I will do one here, and one here. Okay, I'm gonna switch it. I will do the same thing, or I can just, you know, put this like that, and then I will again put here and make a mark, something like that. Here I'm using the same pencil which came in the kit. So basically what I did here is, it is equidistant from the center. So it is like, I find out the middle, and then 3 inches from this side and 3 inches from this side. That's it, the simplest way of doing. You can go ahead and do very crazy things, very nice things with this. I'm planning not to. Yeah, I'm planning not to. I will just put this again. Okay, and then I want to find the middle, and then I'll go and I'll do the, so this is my 9 inch paper. So middle will be 4 and a half. So this will be my middle, and then I will do all the stuff. Or another thing of doing it is that whatever marks you make on this, you have to just copy them here, so that if you are going a little bit here and there, still that will work for you. And why we need that, look, I'm just putting that color here, I think. And why I'm doing this method, because this is the less chances of putting the things. Now don't put the sequence same the way you're gonna put them together. Don't change the sequence, because we cut down the paper accordingly. So I'm starting from the middle, and then I'm going outwards. That will be the easiest way. And you will need a like nice thick needle for this, or one kind of puncture. I'll show you. So I have this bookbinding stuff with me, but basically you need this kind of thing to punch the hole, or you will need a big, very big, thick needle. The straight needle I'll show you. So maybe you will need these kind of needle. There are very fancy needles also, but you don't need a fancy needle. You just need this kind of nice big eye needle, which can poke through the holes of the pages. We can make the pages, and then you can use any nice thread. We will use this one, and I'm gonna put that aside, this thread. And you know, this is just a one foam thing which I made. I'll show you, which I made just of the foam sheet. I just put this like that, and then what you're gonna do to prevent your surface, you will just use your needles like this, and you have to make those holes or poke those holes. And if you have this kind of structure, you can go ahead and do that. That is also very simple. I'm just putting this here and making this. You can use it with needles also, but basic idea of doing it is, when we sew through the needle, it will be easy because we already have designated place to go our needle. So that is the basic thing. This kit came with this kind of thread. which we will use. I'm gonna put that aside. I'll speed up the process and make all the marks and poke the holes. So I punched the full holes in all of them, and you can see some pages are a little bit more when they lay flat, you can see that, but when they close they are nearly equal to. If you still feel that you want to trim some of them, just use the scissors. And like this page, and I was like, but when it goes inside it doesn't look like that. Okay, so how much thread should we take? So I'll give you a simple example. You need this much thread so that it will not, remove it out. And then what you want to do, you will go inside, then come out from this, and go inside, come out from that, and then you will go again here. So basically from this, if you take 3, it's more than enough for you. You don't want too long thread also, so that it will just jumble and bumble. And then you can start from this. So my thing is not yet dried, but I just want to show you how I did it. So you can see that all of my pages having that mark here, so needle is going very easily. We are just creating one signature, because if you want to create more signature, you need a width. Talking about this width, if you're creating more signatures, you need this much width. You don't have that. I put here more signatures, you can see. And I made this general way before, and I started using it, and I'm kind of having fun with it. I'll show you what I did. So my kids play chess and I go with him, and then I have some time there, so I draw these, I draw this. So I have this reference, from reference I draw this, kind of do something like that on this. Maybe I'll replicate or kind of get inspired with this, or I draw that. So when you have these kind of references with you, these leaves, something like that, so then you have the references with you, you get an idea and you get inspired and you draw something else, but you have that reference with you, so it is really easy to do. So yeah, this I started one banana leaf here. So what I'm talking is, you need that much width here, so that you can add more spine to it. And that's why we are creating here only one signature. So you have to remember, when you go out like this, you have to put the thread here so that you can tie the knot inside. Basic idea is that. And now I will put the another cover. This is gets so dirty, but it's okay, it will still work. And then we going through this one, so I'll show you after that dried. Now this is almost dry. Now I want to add more in this, so I'm using here distress oxides, and I'm kind of going on the edges. This one is peacock feather. You can use distress inks also. And I'm going over this white thing also, which is like now dried. This one is Hero Art paste, and you can see after doing that, it is catching that little bit. Now I'm using here seedless preserves, and now I'm just creating little bit these kind of marks. I'm just using this corner like this to get those marks. And you can add as many as colors you want, or you can skip some colors, or you want more colors, like again you can add those. Here I already have lots of red here on this side, but this side I'm little bit not much sure, so I'm adding those, and I'm pretty happy how it turned out. As I told you, we can put here create or something. I'm gonna skip that for a time, and then you can see my hands, and then I'm just kind of, now again, if you want, you can put inside like inside also colorful. You can use the same techniques to color inside also. I'm gonna skip that inside part. I'm not much interested in creating the inside also. But what we can create for putting these pencils, we can add here a small box, or we can just stick this box here, so that we can put Hero Arts pencil here and we can turn. But in that way that will become a little bit bulky, so I'm gonna skip that part. But if you have a little bit wider spine, just I told you before, you can do that. I'm just kind of taking that excess color here, I'm just rubbing on the paper. These are just the rough sheets of paper which I have, and basically I don't mind getting my hands dirty or these papers dirty. Now it's time to sieve all that stuff together. So after this we will stitch through this one. Now remember, there are many ways to do this stuff. You can make all these signatures. Why am I making this one particularly? Because I want something which I can carry in my bag. When I created that Handmade general, I thought that I will carry, but it's become a little bit bulky and it's too much for me at that to carry every time. Then I'm just twisting. My hands are dirty, so paper is getting dirty, but I don't mind. I will use that to draw something or something like that. But if you want, you can wash your hands and take care of stuff while doing this. And then I'm just pulling this thread. Now you have to make sure that you will not have any kind of knot there while pulling the thread, right? Because it happens sometimes that it got tangled. And then okay, so after going this, we will go back to these. I'm just taking a half section and then I'm just putting through this needle. Now you can see this is getting together, and now we will go again from the same holes, and this time it will go just like that. Maybe sometimes it goes a little bit here and there, but never mind. And we have enough enough thread to tie and make a knot. Before making a knot, make sure everything is nicely tight. Don't tear your paper, but just make sure that everything is nice and tight like this. And then I will just make a knot here. Now anyways, you can make on the top, you can make on the bottom, totally depends on how you want. Just then you can just cut these threads and we are ready to go with our generals. So what I do most of the times whenever I make small generals or these stuff kind of stuff, I just wiggle them on all the sides, make them little bit just softer, break their paper tissues, I think, and then you can put a heavy weight on it and keep it for the night. Now another thing, like you can see that this is quite a nice one. You can open it and you can, you know, draw it with the pencil. You can use, look at my hands, I'm just getting it dirty. So you can use these pencil to draw something, or you can just use your watercolors or whatever you want. But main thing, what I want, it should be like thin like this, so that I can carry it with me. Now other thing, you can roll around thing like I showed you before in that general, you can do that, or you can just stitch one button here and put the elastic closure here. That will also do. But what I will do, I will just keep it simple just like that, and I will put one pen or something like that. Maybe it can just like that, and I'm going to keep it with me whenever I go in my purse. It is very thin, so I can take it with me, and then I can use it like for whatever I want. So this is the journal. We can add some more embellishment if you want. I'm not making any kind of you know, I decided that I will not make any kind of I'm just putting these jars. I will not make any kind of names here, just it be my idea one. Now I want to show you some ideas. So when I started my gold art practice, I decided to create some mark making patterns for that, and these are like dash and dots and other patterns, and where I tried many colors and what combination will look nice. So I have some idea with me that how I can do that. Another thing is you can try this color patches in this notebook. That will give you a nice idea. Other thing is that you can just write something nice, maybe do some kind of watercoloring or something like that, or maybe you can do the handwriting practice. Or I'll show you one more. or you can just, you know, stamp some images and color them. If you're not good with the drawing, you can do that also. And particularly with this one, what I will do, I just decided that I'm gonna make some kind of meditative patterns here, or I can put some whatever I want to do, or whatever I get an idea, I'm gonna put that inside. So I hope you like this kind of journal, which kind of lay flat. You can put it like flat like this with your laptop, in your laptop bag, and then you can use it. Now if you open it, you can see some pages are wonky and this, but I don't mind. As I told you, these are quite 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so these are 7 papers, so we get basically 14 papers together. Don't put more than that, maybe one paper will do, otherwise it will get bulky, and then it is really hard to fit in the things. Same times it is fall down, like while you are working, you don't want that bulk come on your hand. Like if you're working on this, you don't want to cover it. So I hope you like this non card making project with the Hero Arts, and until the next crafty project, have a crafty life. Bye bye.